We'll start off by getting you to tell us your name and where you were born and when.
Well, I was born in the First World War, 1914, and I was born in Porlamont. That's on the other side of the island. And my name is Raymond Fougere, of course.
Can you tell us a little bit about your parents? What were their names?
Well, my father died, I was 4 years old, Simon Fougere. And my mother was Lida Portis.
Did you know your grandparents?
Only one, Arthur Portis.
The rest were dead.
Arthur Portis. The rest were all dead. I didn't see any the only one I seen is my grandfather, Portis. I should say Portis. They tried to change the name, but this is Portis.
Do you know the names of your other grandparents?
They were Fougeres on the other side, yeah.
Do you know their name?
No, by God, I'm not too sure. I wouldn't be able to. They died long before I was born.
What, your father's people, were they living right there in the...
In Porlamont, yeah.
As far back as you can remember?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they were dead, so
Yeah.
I didn't know them at all.
So you're related to the other Fougeres on the north?
Yeah, Willard Fougere, that used to own the store there in Porlamont.
Yeah. What's the relation?
First cousin.
First cousin.
His father and my father were two brothers, Dominic and Simon. There was only three in the family. It was Angel, Angela, what do you call it, whatever. There were three. There's two boys and a girl. And they're all dead long ago, but my father died when I was 4 years old, I thought. Yeah.
Are you related to the Fougeres in any of the other places? Fougeres from Competitive Raw or
A bit, yeah.
West
Far away, though. Far away.
in West Ayrshire?
In West Ayrshire, the same thing.
It's a distant relation.
What do you mean there? Walter Fougere and...
Well, the Fougeres that are in West Ayrshire now.
Now, well, I only know a couple of them, that's all. They came here to see me here. I know he was working at a pulp mill, but...
Which Fougeres are you, which Portos are you related to
In the schools?
Yeah.
Well, all on my mother's side, they were all Portis. There was, well, Susan, you know Susan?
Mm.
She's a relation to me. Third cousin, I guess, it must be. But her father was, no, her grandfather was a first cousin to my mother, anyway. So I'd have to figure out. I think it's third cousin anyway, me and Susan. Yeah. And there's John Portus there in Porlamont, you know him. Used to be a teacher here in Ayrshire. Not too many Portus now. There was a gang of them one time. Yeah. They're all dead. And the children went away. Did you know Alva Portus? Him, he didn't want me to say that I was his second cousin. You want me to say, you're my cousin. He was in the state allowed. Well, you know Alva. You knew Alva? Yeah. They're all dead, so.
What was your father doing?
My father used to go to Barnstable every second year, and then he'd get what you call build a porch or build a barn or or something on the house. He was a carpenter in one way, but he was one year he was at the traps fishing in what's it called, in Barnstable.
Where was that, in the States?
In the States, yeah. Yeah. One year go there, and then my mother had taken enough for the next year for him to stay ashore and build or do work for her. Yeah.
What was he fishing?
Oh my God, I don't know what they were fishing there in Barnstable. They were, I guess, all kinds of fish, I guess, pretty well. Although they had different fish up there than we had here. He wasn't at Fougere, that's for sure. A lot of people used to go to Fougere on the vessels there, and but him, he was ashore on traps. You seen there was 5 or 6 traps there, I guess, in Irish at one time. Aye?
Like a fish farm?
Yeah? No, they were fishing here in Irish out there. They had traps, and they were fishing traps.
Oh, so
they were fishing.
He was close to shore.
Got close to shore, yeah. We had one in Tenny Shoal, but you couldn't get no money for the fish then. Half a cent a pound, 3 cents for what do you call it, for lobsters.
So he'd only go every second year?
Well, every second year that I don't know how many years he went, but...
on the off years, was he fishing? Or was he just working on the house?
Working on what you call on, well, somebody wanted a porch built, somebody wanted a barn, somebody wanted a shed. Well,
he's a contractor.
Well, some kind of a, what you call it, yeah. Well, then my mother would take their name, and next summer he'd stay ashore and fix all that, build them. Yeah.
Is your old homestead still standing?
Yeah, I was born in Portamong, yeah. Right on top of Pertus Hill. Above the wharf. Now, my sister was in there, but then she's dead, and her husband is dead, so his daughter, Doris, is in there now. Doris, well, she's a Fougere too now, but she was a Fourier before. Married to Isaac Fougere's boy, Wally Fougere.
And that's your old homestead?
Yeah, right there above where the wharf was. The wharf is gone now. There was a bar, I guess so.
Is it government wharf?
All the boats were coming there. The Richmond used to come from St. Peter's every morning, except the winter, of course, when there was ice. And that was a taxi boat. You had to get on that boat to go to Mulgrave. There was not even a bridge there. The Burn Island Bridge wasn't even there.
So that boat was coming from St. Peter's?
St. Peter and go to Mulgrave, and back at night he'd come, called in Portamong, and maybe sometime he had well, he used to get the flour and the everything was coming through. The train had only come to Mulgrave, yeah, because the Scotia used to cross over to on this side.
There was a government wharf?
In Portamong? Yeah.
Where was it at now? Can you describe to me where it was at?
On the low road, you follow the old road and in Portamong. And you know anybody in the schools?
I don't know, but go ahead and tell me anyway.
And then after that, there's a bridge. They used to call it the Kissing Bridge. That's where all the young girls and the young boys used to, in my days, and they call it the Kissing Bridge. That's between Portamong and the schools. And then Do you know where the sisters were in Panama?
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah.
Well, it's about half a mile from there, on the low road, not the new road they have there.
Was that the only wharf in Pullman?
Oh, some fishermen had some, but that was the big government wharf.
There was a few fishermen who had their own wharf.
Well, they had, some of them built their own wharf, but you couldn't go there with a big boat. The boat used to come, the boat used to come twice a week from Sydney, and then Halifax, the Margaret, the Dominion boats, the Dominion Elcid, the Dominion, all kinds of boats coming in there.
Were these big boats?
Pretty good size.
How many feet?
Well, I guess over 100 feet, I guess, some of them. Not all
Right
there.
at the wharf?
Huh?
They could dock right at the wharf?
Yep.
How long was that wharf there?
Oh, jeez. I don't know. It was there when I opened my eyes. It was right above I lived right above it. But they blow it up after all the people start kick that the children were going to go through and they were going to get drowned. And so they come there and blow it up. No more boats coming in.
So you had different boats coming from different places?
Well, yeah, Sydney. There was a Brador coming from Sydney.
Was there a warehouse there on the wharf?
Yeah. My grandfather looked after the warehouse.
Was that a government job?
Huh?
Was that a government job?
Well, I mean, I don't know how much he was paid for, but he attended the warehouse, and he had the post office in the store.
He had a store. Where was the store at?
Right above the hill, just about where the wharf was, only on top of the hill. The wharf was below the hill.
Is the building still there? Or is,
No, his house is undone now. Yeah. He was a captain. He used to go.
is that your grandfather?
Yeah, he used to go all over Egypt, France, Italy, anywhere with his boat, with his vessel.
How big was the warehouse? And how big was the store?
Well, the store had everything. You know, with a corner store, what they call it now. But anyway, you had everything, even the cloth, everything, molasses, everything, anything you wanted, you had it there. Whatever there was. There was no pop them days or anything, so you couldn't get it.
He wasn't still sailing when you were around, was he?
No, he had retired and he built that store.
Was his the only store in Pullman?
No, but at the time, I guess he was the first one. But then there was Louis Pertus, that was his nephew. He started. He started the store there. And then there was Old Doyle. He had a store. And then Thomas Fougere had a store right above the bridge there, the kissing bridge there. Yeah, the ice cream parlor. Yeah, that's what it was.
So there were what? At one time there would have been what, 3 stores in Pullman?
Just about, yeah.
What were the other 2 stores then?
There was a store, 2 stores in Pulamong and one on, well, it was the schools. When you crossed the bridge, you were in the schools. But then LeBrun, that's where they have a, what do you call it now? They have a restaurant there where LeBrun used to be.
Was that a big store?
Uh-huh. Everything was in it, I guess. Everything you could get then.
So what kinds of things would they have been selling in the store? They would have been selling what, flour?
Flour, feed, anything at all. Anchors or anything you wanted, they had it.
Anchors,
Yeah.
fishing gear?
grease for the carts and everything.
And their supplies were coming in by boat on those boats?
Yeah, that's right. They had a place there at the wharf that they used to put puncheon of molasses. The big, 198 pounds, I think it was. They'd roll it right on. They had a place there, and then they rolled the barrel right on the truck, a two-wheel truck. Not a motor truck, a horse in the end. You're right.
Was there a post office in Pullman?
Yeah.
Who had the post office?
Who had the post office? Well, I used to call him Uncle Joe. So he was married to my father's sister. The building is still there, but it's in an awful shape.
Who owns it now?
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
Where's it at?
That's in Pullamong, about, you know where Willard's store, on the east side. Yeah. Yeah.
How many times a week would you get your mail? Did you get it every day?
Every day, but you had to be there when they'd call it. Or they'd put it aside if you go in. Well, maybe they would give it to you if they know you. They know what kid, who you belong to. They'd give you the mail. They'd give you whatever was there. But you had to be there. They'd say, well, they called whatever address that was on the envelope or a paper or whatever. The paper were coming through mail too. Yeah. Even the Irish had paper, the Richmond Record. You remember that?
Yeah.
Old Bernito had that. I think there was somebody before him. I'm not sure.
So, was it common? Did you go to the mail every day?
Well, not much. Some time ago. Sometime my brothers go and.
But somebody
From the house, yeah. And we'd take maybe 3 or 4 houses there. We'd take the mail. There were old people, and we'd take the mail for them too. You'd get 5 cents a week. Yeah.
How often would you go to the store in a run week?
Well, we used to get pretty well everything. Maybe matches or kerosene. Them days there was no electric. Kerosene for your lamps and yeah.
Was there a school in Pullman?
Yeah. Still there.
Is that the building that the apartments are in?
No, I don't think. It was next to, what do you call it, to Willard's store there. Well, a little bit down the east side there. It's apartment now. It's, what do you call it, Pound owns it. Not Alfred, but his brother. The last time I heard of it. Wow, what's his name now? Harold Pound. You know him?
Yeah.
He owns that schoolhouse. There were 4 classes in there. But first there was only 2. See, the teachers didn't have too much. Didn't have what they have today. 250 a year. And lots of time they had to make concerts, and we did. I hated that. You were at the school there for probably a month there, going to practice for a concert. So you were there. They had to make it because every school was in section one time. Not like it is now. It's owned by the government now. Before it was all it was all the section that owned it. In Pullman, well, they owned it their own, and you had to pay tax on that.
Pay the tax to support the school?
Yeah, Pay right direct to the school, not to the county. While you pay you pay the county taxes too. It was about the same thing, around $20, I think, $40 a year. But you had to hunt to get $40 that time. I know when I was a young fellow, when I'd find a black cent on the road. Yeah, my brother would watch me until I'd pay. What do you call it? Get 2 honeymoon for a cent. Yeah.
So there were 4 classrooms in the school, so there must have been quite a few students.
Well, before, well, they had so many classes. I don't know. I think from 8 to 12 upstairs, and downstairs were just. I'm not too sure the number, but I know there was 4. But I remember when they put it in 4 class.
How many was there before?
Only 1 class. Then there was 93 in 1 class.
93?
So the teacher had a hard time, I'm going to tell you. But the kids listened more them days than they do now. That was a big thing.
Was it
Well, I mean, she was strict, but then there was the trustees. If you didn't, you had something to do with the trustees too. They soon give you a real good thrashing.
Who was teaching at the school? Was it local people?
Yeah, there was one time. There was Mary Boyd one time while I was just left. She was from River Bourgeois. And Marcelina Portus was a long time there. Ethel Sampson. And then when they had the 4th class, there was Jim Britt. Jim Britt would be an old man if he was living now. And then, and that was another thing. If you'd go to school and you didn't listen to the teacher there, the principal would come down and give you the.
What would they? What kinds of things weren't you allowed to do? What kinds of things did you get in trouble for?
Well, sometimes very little. I know I got the strapping many times, and I didn't do that much. Maybe talk to a girl trying to. Trying to find out the questions, or that, boy, man, the first thing the strap was at you. My brother, my oldest brother, went to his grave with the teacher. I don't know. They were a gang. It was before me that, but he shoved the strap in the stove. They had them little buggies. So she threw the strap, but then he took the strap and shoved it in the stove. So then, so she went home and got another strap and put a rivet. I never seen my mother so mad. Put a rivet and she split the side of his face.
What happened at home if you got in trouble at school?
Well, if it was only a minor, you must have done something. That's all you'd get. God, my father wasn't. I was brought up with the mother, that's it. And the brothers and the sisters. And they're all dead, I'm the only one.
Did you learn anything in school while you were there?
Oh, a little bit. A little bit.
How long did you stay?
Well, I was there till the 8th grade, that's all. Them days, well, you weren't too bad at 8. Some would go further than that, but their parents were working, and Their father anyway was working. Oh, not a thing coming in the house. I don't know how she brought us up, but she brought us up. No money from the government at all. The first check she had when she was 70. An old age pension check. $40 a month. She thought she was a rich one. But she'd plant everything. You had everything in the house. Better food than what there is now. It was planted with manure from the barn. It wasn't what do you call it? It wasn't fertilizer or anything at all like that. But I think the clay was different. I think there's something in the clay now. You have to force them to but them days, you had everything. Then you're big enough to milk the cows, you were in the barn, that's it. Milk the cow and go to school after. Undress and put something else on so you wouldn't smell the barn in the what do you call it, in the classroom.
Was there anybody practicing any trades in Fougere?
Trade?
Blacksmiths?
Yeah. Albert LeBlanc was a blacksmith. When I opened my eye, he had a forge there, right below the school. And then, of course, when he died, he sold that to somebody else had it. I think Tony LeBlanc from West Sarshat was there, but I was away when he got it. Raoul Benoit was there first.
Where was Albert LeBlanc from?
Pulamont. His wife was from Pondville. The house is still there. The forge is not there.
Who was in the house?
Right now, Smith's. I don't know if you know him.
Yeah.
He's married to Stanley Dingdon's daughter.
Yeah.
In there.
What kinds of things was he making? What did people need that they had to go to a
Well,
fort?
Right? Everything. The shoes for the horse, and if you had an ox, you had to go there and get them made there. And lots of things you could have. They used to put together trowel, anything at all. Spades or. They couldn't buy a spade every day, them old people.
Where were they getting the iron from? Was that coming on the boats?
Oh, spades were coming from there, yeah. Oh, most. But the shoes for a horse, he used to make it right there. Like Al said, what do you call it, an Irish hat there? Al said, the last time I seen Al said he was at Low River in the hospital. And he said, you didn't bring your horse. What? No, he used to shoe horses in Irish hat. Al said, he had the forge there in Irish. Marshall, that's right. Yeah. Was he there when you come here?
When I come here? Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Oh, God.
So, was there anything else going on in Pulamont? Was there a fish plant or a lobster factory?
No,
Nothing?
no such a thing. No.
So what were people doing? Your father was going to the States and building houses. What were other people doing to make a living?
Some of them would maybe work on the road for and get about $25 a year. You'd have 2 or 3 weeks but then they used to farm and they plant potatoes and they had all those that didn't go and sit at the sun all the time. We had quite a little bit farm, enough for we'd plant. And now the upper road is right across our lane there. Now that took a bit out of there. The new road on top. Yeah.
Were the majority of people fishermen?
Oh, some were fishing. Some would go to the States. There was a lot going to the States then. Some of them were going to pogies. Some of them were going to traps. Well, you were a fisherman, you'd go through the line anytime. When they opened your suitcase, you had a ball of twine, not twine, but a wool and a big needle. You'd go to the line, you were a fisherman.
Were the people who were fishing, were they making a living in it?
I guess so. They were living anyway. But in the state, the wages was very low too. You were lucky if you get $40 a week, $40 a month, and a week, a month. Yeah. Some was in Seconded, some was in Montauk. There was a lot in Montauk. There's still some that my father-in-law was in Montauk. He's buried up there in East Hampton. Yeah.
What about religion when you were growing up?
Religion. They're pretty well all Catholics, I guess. All the island was all Catholic, pretty well, except the Majors and one of them there. They had their own little church in Cape Round. And then the one in Irish out there.
Was there any Protestants in Pullman?
I don't think so. No. They're all going to church, the Catholic church.
In the schools?
In the schools, yeah. We had no church in Pullman. In the schools was a church. It's still there. Well, not the same one, because the other one burned. 1954.
What was the old one like?
All wood. My side was bigger than this one. The upstairs, we had a balcony with all pews up there, but there's none in this one. It's all downstairs. There's not so many, what do you call it, but there's a lot not going to church. Young people don't go to church, most of them. Wasting time, some of them.
So was it stricter? Was the religion stricter?
Oh, well, that's for sure. Yeah, when they hit the chair, boy, you were going to hell, you were going to hell. That's it. But now they don't talk about that at all, hardly. I didn't believe it then, about going to hell. If he loved us so much, he's not going to burn us up, eh? He's got a place for us. So.
Was the catechism taught in the house? Were you taught at home, or was it taught by the priest?
Was that? Oh, a lot at home. Yeah, my mother was a very. You had to say the beads every night. You weren't going out before you said it either. You'd see to that. Go on your knees and pray.
Is it every day? Every night?
Every day. Every night. She'd put the dishes. They didn't have no sink there. They had and they put the dishes in the sink. That's it. If she'd see anybody moving to go out, boy, that was it. She was only a small woman, but
assume we go to church every week.
Yeah?
Going to church every
Oh, well, every week. On Sunday you go twice a day. You go to the prayers or the well, I don't know what they call it now. Vesper. Yeah, that's right. That's right. And in the month of May, you go to church for near every day.
When was the Vespers?
Well, it was sometime 3 o'clock, sometime, it all depends. Yeah, mostly 3 o'clock, I guess.
And then there was Mass in the morning?
Yeah.
Did you go to confession every week?
One. Not me. But some did. Some of you, and you couldn't go, you're going to go and receive and, and not go to confession.
What about fasting?
Fasting, oh yeah. 2 ounces in the morning and a full meal and then a supper, well, you could do whatever you wanted. You could have, I think it's 8 ounces at dinner time or at supper time. You know what I mean there?
Was that during Lent?
Yeah.
And what about Fridays?
On Friday you had to have fish, and Wednesday too. But there was lots of it, but now I don't know what they do, you know.
Was there any feast days or fast days that's not celebrated now?
Oh, there's a lot that, well, I suppose, there's a lot that's not, they're not going to church for. There was a lot of feasts then that, but Christmas and, what do you call it, was about the biggest gang there, Good Friday, always, and still is, I guess. Good Friday, Christmas, and New Year's. Christmas, there was 3 Mass.
What were the priests like? What kind of fellows were they?
Well, they were, some of them would figure they were big shots, that's for sure now that I know. Father Boucher was 57 years in the parish of the Scouse. He's buried here now. You see the 3, right, before you get to the church here.
Behind the bench.
Yeah.
Big domes.
Yeah, and then there's a nun there. Yeah, Poirier and Boucher, Boudreau and Boucher. Father Boucher belonged to Copayette.
He was priest in school.
57 years, yeah.
What kind of fellow was he?
Huh?
What kind of fellow
Oh,
was
well, he was the head of the parish, that's it. You had to obey whatever he said.
So if you were doing something wrong, would he?
Oh, yeah. You were playing ball not too far from the wood, he'd come there and tell you to to take your gear home, and that's it. I was on the tram ship for almost 4 years to sea. Sailed pretty well all over the world. And everything. Down the West Indies, down into Cuba, Haiti, Mexico, and all over the state beside. From Boston up to what do you call it?
How long were you gone before you came home?
Well, that time was 12 years before I come home. I got married in Montreal, what do you call it? From a girl from, there she is right there.
Where is she from?
The Scots. I was from Pullaman, she was from the Scots.
Who was she related to?
She was a McDonald.
She was a McDonald.
Yeah, Victoria McDonald. Yeah,
You say her father's name was Victor?
Victor McDonald, yeah. And her mother was a Pittypaw. They used to try and call themselves Pitts, but they were Pittypaws, not Pitts. Same as my name in Boston, or I went to see people that was going to school with me. I couldn't find them because they had different names.
What did they change it to?
Well, I know my name was supposed to be Fraser there in Boston. I had two brothers there. They called them Fraser, not Fougere. And there was a lot of LeBlancs there that I knew. They called them Whites. So when you go and look for, well, I mean, I didn't have all that time. I was cooking. I was on the boat till almost 7 o'clock at night. And when I got in there, and they wouldn't give me the Sunday off. My two brothers were there. I took it, but then I got hell over it. But
So, you got married in Montreal, you came home.
I came home. No, I didn't stay in Panama. I stayed in the schools, or Ono. It's still there. Doyle is not Doyle. James.
Really?
James, yeah. And of course, what do you call it with her? Landry. Ernest Landry. Then my son is right next door to that. He had bought a trailer in Petite de Gras. He had it where Lawrence Sampson was. And of course, that big gale, he lost it. It wasn't anchored, so went down the hill and lost it. I was on the revenue boats for a while, a year, because the next year we had to be married to be on there. That's when I first went out, to 1931.
The revenue boats?
Yeah, they were rum chasers. Chased the vessel coming from St. Pierre and Miquelon and all them. Yeah, they had to be 3 miles offshore.
Did you get into any close scrapes with that?
Oh, yeah, well, they shot a 6-inch cut of the vessel. The stern of the vessel went up in the air from there. I was on deck then. They had a gun in front. When they let go, everybody was there on their knees. It made a jar, you know. Took the floor right off of you.
Anything else happened that was interesting?
Well, no, I don't know, lots of them. Lots of, what do you call it? Yeah.
You ever get into any fights with the people you were trying to...
No, there's only one, and I had him cornered. He was a little bit, had a little shot. He was a bigger man than me, but the bulwarks on the boat, he got a hold of the knife. He was going to jab me with it, but I was quick enough. I got him under the breastbone there, and he was a Norwegian. So we picked him up at the floor, and his head was split and everything. So he said, Raymond, he said, I never thought you'd be so kind. I was looking after him. He said, if it was me, I'd make you die. But not now, he says, you're best friend. So he was my best friend. Anybody would go anywhere in Cuba, and them big, well, they were selling liquor and stuff like that. I mean, in them liquor, beer, and he was right. He was always there. But I was never to fight. They called me a chicken. I didn't give a heck. What's the use of fighting? If you couldn't win with your mouth, that's it. I'd go away. I seen some guy one time, and even in the schools in the old hall there. I'm going to tell you, there was a lot of fight. You ask the guy, and the next morning all cut up. Oh, gee, I had a wonderful time. You don't get me that way. No, I said, don't tell me that, because you never had a good time, that's for sure. You got batched in.
So the boats were taking the run from St. Pierre and Miquelon. They were taking it from St. Pierre and Miquelon.
The vessels, yeah, and they were coming, the boats that was going to New York. The one I was on, the home one, well, it was a Canadian Pathfinder first, and she got caught in New York and with the liquor, and all WN bought it. What do you call it? The log book was there. Everything was put in the log book. Yeah.
Were they taking it? Were they selling some of it to local people?
No, they were going pretty well. No, they were pretty well going. But they were, what you call, Nova Scotia was dry then, and the island was dry. That's why we used to hang around PEI, West Point to East Point there. Then we'd go into Charlottetown, go into Montague, go into Georgetown, go into Surrey, and somebody else would take our place there. They had all kinds of them boats.
So there was, but on Isle Madame you could still get liquor.
Well, I get it from the doctors, but that was bootleggers. Oh, don't worry, there was guys making moonshine and all that. I was going to Prairieville one day, walking from Puramount there, and they were making moonshine in the house, and the tank exploded. What a mess they were in. They were hollering mercy. They were all burnt too. You ever seen making that moonshine?
How does it work?
Well, they brew it for I don't know how long in a barrel, and then they put it in a tank on top of the stove with ice in the box and what do you call it, a tube going through it. So it comes as clear as anything, water, clean as water. But just put the match there. Just it didn't take long to burn. It was really alcohol.
Powerful stuff?
I guess. And then I never really, I tasted, but that's all. I didn't want no. They used to put it in them days. You used to have lard in little wooden buckets. Well, they put that on fire, and then they put this clean, what do you call it, bit, and it would make that liquor just like whiskey, the color of whiskey. But now it come out that they could buy it pretty cheap. But now it's pretty the liquor is pretty high. I know the last year I was in, well, I always had liquor at the house until somebody wanted to see the bottom of the bottle, so I said, that's it. It did stay there only for that. 2 places. The wife was terrible for that to give to, you know, I never even thought of it, but to give some to the guy about people that come to the house, you know, whether it was a one or not. Well, I was brought up that way because my mother used to make Blueberry wine was there. A glass full was that's all you could carry. When the Mounties come, that's it. Somebody reported her, and they come in. She was some scared that day. Oh, when she seen the Mounties at the door. But,
Did you get caught?
oh no, they told her not to make any more, and she wouldn't make it anyway. She wouldn't make it. She was too scared. They say don't throw what you got there, but don't make it anymore. And she gave her word, so that was it. Never heard about it or anything more.
Did anybody ever get caught? Any of the bootleggers?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, there was some that got caught. Them days they didn't pay too much of a fine, or they paid so much.
So where were these Mounties coming from? Were there Mounties on the island?
Well, the Mounties, when they had traffic cops before. They had motorcycle cops. That's a long time ago. And then the Mounties come in.
When was that?
Well, they come in, I don't know. Must be around the 30s, the start of the 30s they come in. And of course, those that didn't want to listen to them, they go in jail. It's the same thing when the overseas of the road used to come to you, and you had to be on with your shovel the next day on the road. That's for nothing. Shoveling the road from Pulamau up to, of course, we're a gang, a gang here, a gang in Martinique, and a gang in up to Luce. To bring a woman that was going to have shipped her to Halifax on the train. Well, we were working hard. They'd say, well, you'll be going in jail if you're not there tomorrow morning, the overseas. You had to be there, or else you're going to go to jail with a heart attack and a mug of water. Today they're having a good time in them jails. Got radio, TV, shit. Them days when you were just a dirt. That's all you were, them days. Put you in jail and forget about you, or throw away the key.
The Mounties, were they coming from Ayrshire? Were they operating out of Ayrshire?
Oh well, yeah. There was two in the schools. The first one, I think, was I think it was from New Brunswick, and there was one from Sydney.
They were living in the schools?
Yeah.
At the station?
They had the station and the school set. Yeah. Long time, some I just forget his name. He was from New Brunswick anyway.
So what was the recreation? What was the fun?
The
What did you
fun?
do for fun?
Playing ball with a stick that you'd cut out of the wood, no gloves or anything. You'd make the ball with twine like they use for, but not now. They don't use that twine now for lobsters, making the nets. It was more like cotton than it is now. Now is it's different. What do you call it? Every year you have to put nets on your traps. It was rotten. Even though, well, it's all nylon now. It's lasts for years. Even when you're pulling the trap up, you had no hauler either. You hauled it by hand.
So you made the bat, you made the ball.
Yeah, I made the
No
ball.
gloves?
Well, sometime you'd put a stone in it to make it heavier. It all depends. You go to the shore and get a stone and started away from that way.
What other games did you play?
I'm going to tell you sometimes some of them guys would throw you the ball and go and tell you get it with your hands. You know, just think for a while.
What other games did you play? Were you playing hockey?
Oh yeah, hockey, and when there was ice on the lake there, like a bar in the schools, you don't know what that is, eh?
No.
You ever heard of the Red Bridge on the Schools Road?
Red Bridge.
No? You used to go and fish trouts. I guess it's well, it's not the Red Bridge now. They made a cement. What do you call them days? It was all wood. Yeah. The lake goes right across the schools there, up to Panama, in the back.
Oh yeah, okay.
You know that lake there?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's like a bar.
So you were playing hockey. Did you have any parties, dances?
Oh, any houses in Panama, you could go in and have a dance. Somebody played the mouth organ, you had a dance. And a meal too. The old folks will get. You go there with a piece of corned beef, and another one would have carrots, the other one would have potatoes, the other one have, and she'd boil all that, and we're have dancing like hell. Guy playing the mouth organ. We didn't have them bands that they got now. We used to dance in the schools, eh?
Was it all in the schools?
Yeah, that new hall. That's some hall I went to see her the other day. You haven't got that. They didn't have it in Montreal when I was there. That's for sure. They had the Palador. We had a club, the Blue Nose Club down in Montreal. We were a gang from down here. It's not built the same way because they had a rail and you'd dance inside the rail and the people was standing outside. That's the Palador in Montreal. Every week, Wednesday night, that's why we were. Everybody bring something to eat, and we had tea, coffee, whatever. Some was having liquor, but I was not for that. Liquor, no good to me. My brother could do it. I had a brother, the last one, that he'd drink a water glass of whiskey. He wasn't drunk at all, but I couldn't. He went to the Navy. Yeah, he was in the Air Force. 4.5 years in the Air Force.
Was there dances in Pulamong?
Me put them on at the school. They paid the expense, I guess, the coal and everything they were getting. You didn't get too much coal because around April you had no fire in the place, and you had to go in the woods and cut some branches, and we had a pot-belly stove, you seen them, stove.
Is there much drinking and fighting at those things?
No, there's always fighting. All them dancing, there was fighting.
What were they fighting over?
Just drunk, that's all. Foolish. That's what I call it. You take the KOs and, I seen a fight. I was only small, but not too big then, at the church in the schools. And this guy, Alpha Landry from Petey de Gras, I knew him by that. I'm going to tell you, he was dressed like a, what do you call it? He was coming from the States then. They didn't take long to spoil his clothes. Foolish, very foolish. It was the Burkes and they were a gang, gang of Frenchmen and gang of Irishmen. That's what it was. And that didn't go too much. The Brits.
Frenchmen were fighting with the Irishmen.
The Brits were, well, the Irishmen always fight. They're fighting always in their country, between themselves, isn't it?
And they were still fighting when they were
Oh, yeah. All the Brits, they were all on one what do you call it? The Shannon were all together. There were no Frenchmen where they were. The Shannon's up up near the Martinique, there, at the park. And then there was that night was some fight. Even the priest, Father Bushy, was in there, tried to make peace. But what a racket for nothing, eh? It's always to think that you're strong and all that, but fighting is not in me.
Is everybody speaking French at Pulmon? Was there any English?
One time, even in Irish out there, you had a hard time to find somebody that wasn't talking French.
Most of the people at Pulmon. Was there any English people talking Pulmon?
Well, that's later on, but at first there was none. There was the Malbys. He came from England. Eh? You know the Malbys? Nobody there now. No Malbys around there. George Malby was in Pondville here. I don't know if he's well now yet. He went to the hospital. And then there's well, Simon got killed, him. But there's Louis in Peter de Graw. You know Louis? Yeah, Malby. Well, I don't know, but it's funny he didn't come and get me for the beat.
So it's only, you mentioned the Irish, you mentioned the Shannons and the Brits, and were they the only English-speaking people on the north side?
Oh, there's some come in, like him there, they were French when they first come, but they're not French no more. Instead of being Moge, they're majors. That's the way.
So were you brought up all in French?
Huh?
Were you brought up?
Oh yeah, I was French, right through, both sides. My mother was a Pertus and Pertus, and my father was a Fougere. And they were going to call Pulmon Fougereville, but they started going away, so they didn't get that. There's not too many Fougeres there now. Oh, there's quite a few. Yeah.
Were there any Protestants?
Not at that day, but there's some now. A few here and there, one here and there. It's all pretty well Catholic yet.
Do you remember the First World War?
I remember when they come back, there were mustard gas, especially those. I got mustard gas, boy, I'm going to tell you, they didn't last long after they come back.
What happened?
Well, the mustard gas was in them. You could hear them coming from a mile, breathing. Were burned up.
Do you remember the flu epidemic?
Yeah, I was in it.
You had the flu?
Sure, I had that flu. Spanish flu, I guess. They were dying like flies in Peter de Graw. But home, it seemed, I don't know. It didn't, well, probably. But I seen the full family, my sister, my mother, Me and my brother on the kitchen floor with blankets. The first one that got, what do you call, that's how I start cooking. Yeah.
But there wasn't many who died in Pullamon in the schools.
There's some, but not too many, you know. Not like Peter de Grau. Peter de Grau was bad. Yeah. No doubt there was some in Irishad, but them days, you know, you weren't traveling too much. If you wanted to travel, you'd walk. Walk to Peter de Grau from Pullamon, or...
How often would you go?
Oh, well, I wouldn't know. Yeah.
Do you remember the... do you remember the Halifax explosion?
Oh, no, I was born, but that's it. I was only, what, 3 years old, I guess. 1917.
Do you remember the earthquake?
Yeah, I remember that. You know what I was doing? I had 90 barrels of potatoes. That's a lot of potatoes. And we were picking at me and my brother, and he was looking at me, and I was looking at him. The thing was shaking. So first thing I heard, the dishes falling in the kitchen, the house. And I went in. My sister was pretty hysterical in there. So all the old people come out, and they were saying, an explosion in Mountain, yeah, Mountain, yeah. It was them days we had no way of knowing. The explosion in Halifax, like I say, I was only about 3 years old, from 14 to 17. But it broke windows in Pullamon, the school, and shook up the north side. I don't know how it was on this side. I think there was a lot of them that was killed in Halifax, yeah, that explosion. We had people that they were there. They got. Yeah, I sailed with a guy. What was his first name? But he was a Grant anyway. And he had 7 or 8 kids. And he was working at the dockyard. He walked up to his place and everything was gone, and all his house was gone and everything. He found his wife with the baby in his in her arm. And, he was a very serious man. I said, what's wrong with you, Grant? Oh, I got the picture of them. They were all dead, except one daughter. She wasn't home. But there was a lot of people had misery, but it was in December. The next day they had a big snowstorm, the 6th of December. They had it hard. After the house was gone. I was talking to a guy, he was on the tugboat there in Halifax. And the first thing they were coming down, what do you call it, just with the house, the tug was gone.
What was the depression like?
Depression? Well, to me, there was no money. So you couldn't call money the root of all evil then. But now, that's what it is. Spoiled.
There was no money.
My mother became a widow when I was 4 years old. She never got a cent from the government. I don't know how she done it, but she done. Well, we had everything anyway, the farm. She had a garden with all cherries and apples and gadels. I don't know, I didn't know what English, but there were gadels anyway, trees, and she had everything in there. Then she had another garden for the cucumbers and work. 5 o'clock in the morning, you'd see her there with a big hat in the garden before the heat had come, you know, and the flies. Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of things I could tell you.
If you was left a widow, she had no money coming in, but she had a big garden.
Well, she had a big garden. She had
Say
potatoes.
5 barrels of potatoes?
Oh, well, not that year. Not when we got big enough. We got a horse, and me and my brother got a big horse, and we plowed. Oh no, not at that time. Just enough for your own use. Maybe a little bit more, but that's all.
Do you have animals?
Yeah, cows and calves, and we had pigs, we had hens. That's what we're living on.
What do you, just for your own use?
Oh, well, I mean, pretty well. But we had it there year-round because you take, in the spring of the year, there was no fridge then. You had to cut it up and salt it. That's it. That's what. And the beef was the same thing. We always had a cow or a pig in the fall of the year. Cow and a pig, and anytime you wanted a chicken, well, you'd go in the chicken coop and twist their neck, and that's it. Pluck them, and then.
What were you doing for fuel?
Fuel wood. We're a little bit good on that because I had an uncle there that, well, used to come and chop in the winter. Them days there was only an axe, just an axe. You didn't have no saws, but you had a big, had to be two on the saw. Anyway, used to come in and cut the wood. Maybe 12, 14 cords of wood. All depend what they had left. And then when it come to what do you call it, I had a brother-in-law that he had a horse. He was in the States, and he used to come and haul the wood out of the woods, and then then me and my brother used to try and saw it and split.
You burn coal?
Well, at the last, I think she was getting a ton of coal there just for, but she didn't want a fire after 11 o'clock. There was no fire in the house at all. You look at the ceiling and you could see all the frost on the nails.
Must have been cold.
Oh, it was cold enough. Yeah. Oh, she was very strict on that. Only a kitchen stove. We had 4 rooms upstairs and 4 rooms downstairs. I don't know how it is now. I wouldn't been there for a long time. That's what we had. 4 rooms upstairs and 4 rooms downstairs. 4 bedrooms. No bathroom. We didn't know anything about that. Bathroom was outside.
Were they making their own home remedies?
Yeah. Yeah, my mother was wonderful, better than any, I'll say, I had a cut there from there to there, and I'm going to tell you, she took my arm and put the brown flour, I don't know what she had, but she had that in the cupboard there. I couldn't have a better job done, even if I had the doctors from today. That's right. They'd have to put stitches in there, and oh, she was good for that. Well, I seen My brother, he was older than me. I was only, he got hit. The teacher had put a rivet on the end of the, what do you call it, cut him right out there. He was cut, he went to his grave that way. So 84 years old. I never seen my mother so mad in my life. She was jumping, boy. She went and meet the teacher coming out for going to her place. I think she'd have had a gun. I think she'd have shot him. Shot her right there. Yeah. She was so mad that day. Yeah, when you'd come from school, if you'd say, well, I got a strap today, you must have done something wrong. As long as you had no mark, that's it. That's what was going on. Now they're saying the prayer now. You hear it? Yep. Well, I don't know, but I could tell you a lot if anybody knew me. Could tell you a lot about.
What about politics now?
Huh?
Politics.
Oh, politics was hard them days. Yeah. Dr. LeBlanc, Dr. B.A. LeBlanc, and Dr. Jack in St. Peter's. Wow, that was fight, but crazy. You'd get away from there because all you had, you'd be cut up, that's all. Butchered up. Oh, a lot of fights.
Do you have anything else that you want to say?
Oh, I don't know, but I got lots of it.